welcome to the Pelvic Power Podcast. My name is Penny, and I am the host of this lovely space. I am a pelvic floor yoga teacher who teaches people with pelvic pain how to use movement, breathwork, and body awareness to ease and manage their pain while living a pleasurable life. In this space, we'll be talking about all things taboo because we love it, and how to support your lovely pelvis and your lovely self on this journey that you are on. I'm very happy that you are here, and I hope that you enjoy this episode. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Pelvic Power Podcast. I'm very happy that you are here today. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, as always, for tuning in. Today, we'll be talking about your lovely pelvis and your lovely pelvic floor in the sense of relaxation. Bear with me for a moment. I'm not talking about relaxing in the sense that you go see your doctor and they tell you to have a glass of wine and relax. We just want to slap those people across the face. First off, telling someone to have wine to help them relax, for some people, it may do. But also, alcohol really affects your nervous system. I don't know about you, but when I have alcohol, my nervous system is definitely not regulated. I have one glass of wine, I can't fucking sleep through the night because my stress hormones wake me up at 3 a.m. and they're like, yeah, let's go. And also, if you live with anxiety, alcohol is probably not the best option. So that's just one part of it. The second part, try and relax. Trying to tell someone to relax that live with pain, specifically pelvic pain, because it can be very traumatic. It can also be very taboo to talk about. How is that gonna fucking work? Relaxation, it's about your nervous system. It's not something that you can just tell yourself to do. You can't just will yourself into relaxation if you have a lot of stuff going on in your life, if you have a lot of stuff going on in your body. It's kind of like telling someone that is having an anxiety attack, take a breath, take a deep breath. Dude, this person can't breathe properly. How are they going to take a fucking breath? Some things that you can do for yourself if you live with anxiety. So for yourself, for example, sometimes I have nightmares. I wake up in the middle of the night. I use my hands because we have so many sensory receptors in our hands. I use the hands to feel my bed. And I also repeat to myself, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. So using the hands, using the feet to feel the ground, use the exterior part of you to bring yourself outside of your body. Because if you're having an attack of some sort, it feels like you're stuck in your body. You are stuck in your body. You can also tap with your fingertips on top of your sternum. This is something that I like to do. If I'm feeling anxious, I'm going through an anxious situation, because it's very subtle. Okay, it might look a little bit weird to some if you're sitting there tapping on your chest, but also at the same time, who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares? You just fucking do it. You can tap on your chest. If you're with someone that is having an anxiety attack, you can ask them questions like, okay, what color is my sweater? Oh, it's blue. Okay, what color are my eyes? They're blue. Okay, what else do you see in here that's blue? Or, what is your name? Oh, my name is John. Okay, John. What is my name, John? So repeating things back to them, that's one thing that you can do as well. Or just paying attention to, if you're by yourself, you're feeling anxious, okay, what can I see in my house right now that is pink? And there's a lot of fucking things in my house right now that is pink. And that's just makes me feel good. So you're bringing the awareness out of your body, so into the exterior environment. That can be tremendously helpful if you live with anxiety. So just a little thing there that you can do for yourself, because this is what I teach. So you're welcome. But welcome. Today we're going to be talking about relaxation, because I'm kind of tired of scrolling on TikTok and seeing how all of the emphasis is just on strengthening. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people need to strengthen their pelvic floor. Your pelvic floor should be able to contract and to relax. But if your pelvic floor can't relax properly, that can cause some issues for us. That could cause pain with sex, pain in general, low back pain, hip pain, constipation, bladder issues, you name it. It can cause so many things. But there's so much, emphasis on strengthening. Do the Kegel, to the beat. I'm like, oh my God, this is, oh no. So many people also need to focus on relaxing, especially if we're feeling stressed with the current state of the way that, of things that are happening in our lives, but also in the way that this world is going. You are more than just a tight vagina. I'm just gonna come out and say it because I feel like it needs to be said with the way that the world is going. You are more than just a tight vagina. Also, tight doesn't mean the same thing as strong. Also, another thing, tight doesn't mean the same thing as strong. If you're having a tight shoulder, tight back muscle, that doesn't mean that that muscle is strong. The reason why we say a tight vagina is because it's a little hole and your muscles are strong around it. But also, those muscles themselves can be tight, and that doesn't mean strength. That doesn't mean strength. So maybe you need to learn how to relax your pelvic floor. And this is why we're here. You're probably in this space because either you live with some sort of pelvic pain condition that is that could be something that is related to endometriosis. I see, like a girl says, hello, I see you. That's how I ended up in this space. Or you're just here because you live with overactive pelvic floor dysfunction and that may be causing you pain. Or you're just here because this space is fucking amazing and you just like listening to me. So, yay, I'm very happy that you're here too. But for the sense, we're talking about relaxing the pelvic floor today because your pelvic floor wants to be able to contract and relax. And relaxation is more than just trying to relax. Try to relax. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that at all because it's your nervous system, your breath, and your body. Everything is connected. And it's a it's something that you work on, you continue to work on all the time. If you've seen a pelvic physio, they probably done an assessment when they ask you to contract your pelvic floor muscles and then to relax. And this was probably you. If you're watching me on video right now on YouTube, you are contracting your pelvic floor muscles and then relax. And then you contract and then relax. And you can't really find that relaxed state. They probably told you this. Okay, you have a hard time letting go of the muscles. You have a hard time relaxing the muscles. And there may be many, many reasons for this. I actually got the question a couple weeks ago. A member in this community, they asked me, how many sessions of pelvic floor yoga would I need to do per week, and how long would it take me to actually be in no pain anymore? This person lived with hypertonic pelvic floor dysfunction and lichen sclerosis. So that makes the answer a little bit more complicated. So if you were just living with pelvic floor dysfunction, which is muscle related, you are working with those muscles, you're working with your nervous system, you're learning the art of relaxation and not just fucking relax. You are learning how to do the work so that you are feeling good. You're riding the wave that comes with nervous system regulation because being sympathetic is not bad. We have parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic, that is the fight and flight, that's the wave up. Parasympathetic, rest and digest. We need that sympathetic. We need that little push, for example, to get us up in the morning or to be excited about life, to be able to work out. That's sympathetic when you're working out, when you're feeling like the heart is pumping. If you've been to any of my power and flow yoga classes, that's sympathetic. And then we bring it down in the end to regulate you because you're not going to stay up there, but you feel fucking fantastic afterwards. But if you're constantly in that state of fight and flight going up, we want to work on that. You want to be able to ride the waves that are up and down, up and down. Anyway, back to the hypertonic pelvic floor. So if you just had overactive pelvic floor dysfunction, you're working with it, fine. That's great. You're doing it. You're doing the work. However, this person also lived with lichen sclerosis, which I do, which is a chronic condition. So I continue to support my body through yoga every single day. I'm using all my tools. I'm using my breath work for nervous system regulation. I'm using the yoga poses for relaxation and stretching. And I'm using meditation to get more of a sense out of my head and into my body. There's so many ways that I use yoga throughout my day that helps to support my physical body. But I also live with lichen sclerosis, as I was saying, which is a chronic condition. If I continue to tear, if I continue to have an itch, if I continue to get pain from my lichen sclerosis, how does that affect my pelvic floor? How does that affect my nervous system? So if you live with more than, it's the same if you live with IC or any bladder pain, bladder issues. Everything is connected in the body through fascia, through muscle connection, through nerves. So if you live with several conditions, you're going to have to learn how to work with that. Lichen sclerosis, it's chronic. It's something that I'm always going to have. I have a tear right now. I know that that's affecting my pelvic floor because I tend to contract, try and pull away from that tear because I don't want to feel that tear. And then I'm going back into overactivity with my pelvic floor. So I continue to support my body. I continue to support my pelvic pain, no matter what that may look like to me. But it's super important to work with your nervous system, with the breath, and with the body when it comes to relaxation. So going back to your sympathetic and your parasympathetic, we're riding the wave. We're going up and down, up and down, up and down. So many of us, not everyone, not everyone, definitely not everyone, we can get a little bit stuck in the sympathetic if we live with chronic stress, which can come from a condition such as endometriosis or lichen sclerosis. You're in that fight or flight, that is going to show up in your body. So that may be tension. One of those things to go when you're feeling that chronic stress is your pelvic floor. Your pelvic floor is going to clench. You're going to clench that pelvic floor. Your core, your midline, your shoulders, your jaw, your fingers, your toes. All of that, all of that chronic stress is going to stay in your body unless you work with it. So it's super important to learn tools that can help you to regulate your nervous system while also stretching, learning, teaching your body how to go back to that relaxed state. So using tools such as yoga in all its forms, breath work, the physical poses, meditation, body awareness techniques, myofascial release, the fascia, a completely different topic, but it's so connected to your nervous system, that can help tremendously with your pain and how you are supporting yourself on an everyday basis. An everyday basis. If you've ever gone to yoga class, we did a yoga class last week for our Valentine's Day. We started it in a bound angle position. So if you don't know what that is, I have a blog post that goes through 5 different poses that you can do for your period cramps. I'm going to pop that in the show notes. So there I also have pictures on the poses. But bound angle is in one of those poses. One of those poses is bound angle. So guiding the soles of the feet together and open the knees wide in a reclined position. But we also put a pillow under our back. So it's kind of like you're half lying down. The knees are wide. You also have pillows under your knees. I'm all for using blocks. Use the blocks to support you, to support your nervous system. If you are practicing yoga, if you're doing stretches that were given to you by your pelvic physio, if you are feeling any sort of restriction or, yeah, restriction to the pose, or like it's not the most beneficial for you, how can you use props to support you even more? I'm seeing this all the time, all the time in classes. So you're lying there in a twist, but you're feeling it weirdly in your pelvis. If you place a block in between your legs, then your nervous system's going to be like, oh, okay, I can finally let go because my pelvis feels better or my low back feels better when I'm lying like this. Use the props to support you. How can you support yourself even more? Support your physical body so that you're supporting your nervous system so that you can relax even more. Anyway, back to the little bound angle. We're lying there. We have a bunch of pillows underneath, maybe a blanket on top of the body. I'm guiding people through meditation. And just starting to slow down and just landing in that. It can be kind of like a vulnerable position, but it's also very open. It's an invitation to openness through the groin, through the inner thighs, through the lower abdomen, and being able to relax your belly. Once you start to slow down, you're not doing anything. There's nowhere else you need to be. You're listening to someone else guiding you through meditation. People were saying after this class they didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave that position because it felt so fucking juicy to lie in that position, and I it wasn't even a practice for me. I was just lying there guiding three people through meditation. When I'm doing a class, that is not my practice. That is not my practice. That is my students' practice, and that's where my focus is. My focus is on my students to make them feel as safe, as comfortable, and as relaxed as possible. But they were saying I didn't want to leave that position because it feels like the nervous system is just like, okay, finally, I can open up. Or working with shaking exercises or vibration, for example. I go see my osteopath once a month because I love her so much, but also she has a thumper that she places on my back. So if you've ever seen those massage guns, it's kind of like that, but it's a big one, and she uses it on my back and on my pelvis, and I could just feel my sensory receptors in my body are just like, oh, the vibration is really great to regulate the nervous system. And I'm lying there and I just feel like liquid, and it's so nice to feel that way. That's also one of my tools that I use to support my nervous system so I can support my physical body. There are so many ways that you can do. There's so many things that you can do for yourself to support your physical body. Sometimes I feel like we just get so stuck just focusing on the condition itself that we forget that we have access to so many different things that can actually help us. So one thing that you can do for yourself today, you can tap on your body. You can dap. I like to do this too. If I am, for example, I'm working out and I'm feeling like, oh, one of my muscles isn't like working with me properly, I use my hands to bring awareness to that part of my body. This is also why I'm always talking about if you feel comfortable, place your hands on top of your vulva because touch is so important to bring awareness to that part of your body to decrease pain because you're inviting in more proprioception, more body awareness. Where is that part of your body in your space or in the space? And it is also, in fact, a part of your body because sometimes we feel like, my vulva, is it actually part of my body? Because I have so much shame, so much hate. I've disassociated to this part of my body. Use your hands to connect with it more. Same thing with your belly. Oftentimes, when I'm teaching and I'm walking around teaching a full class, I often place my hands on top of my belly. One, it's not, the practice is not for me, it's for other people. So when they see that I am giving myself permission to relax my belly, they may feel like, oh, it's safe for me to relax my belly too. My belly is gorgeous, which it always is. But two, that's also a reminder to me that it's safe to relax my belly. It's safe to take beautiful, deep, beautiful breaths. And also doing something as teaching, which can be kind of, if I'm having a bad day or if I'm on my period, it takes a certain amount of energy from me to show up in that space to guide 40 people through a class. Then I can get into that sympathetic and stay in that worried, tense state. And just by giving myself permission to breathe into my belly and relax my belly, that can help tremendously. But as I was saying, so the events that you're going through in life, it's always going to be sympathetic, parasympathetic, sympathetic, parasympathetic. Yes, we can get stuck in sympathetic and we can go into freeze, but we want to work with that. That's a completely different story, but we want to work with that wave, sympathetic, parasympathetic. And we're always going to go through parts of our lives or times in our lives when we're feeling extra stressed or we're going through things and your pelvic floor is going to act up. Wouldn't it be so nice if you knew tools to support yourself in that specific moment? I have people that haven't been with me for a while. I had one student, she reached out to me. She's like, I haven't practiced with you in 8 months, but the tools that I learned in the membership with you, holy shit, I'm still using those tools when I feel like it becomes too much. So if I'm going through a stressful time in my life, I might notice that, oh, my pelvic floor is really, really, really not feeling the vibe right now. I know the tools to support me in that specific moment. Because life is not just, it's not like a, I keep forgetting sometimes that this is also an audio. So I'm sorry about all the little side effects today. But it's not just a line. It's not, it's like they say, healing isn't linear. Life is not fucking linear either. It's gonna go up and down, up and down. And if you have a habit of clenching your pelvic floor and holding on to tension in your pelvic floor, that might be your go-to move. I often ask my students when we're landing in a pigeon pose because God, everyone loves pigeon pose. Pigeon pose is great. That's like everyone's favorite. If I don't put a pigeon pose in a class, I feel like people are just going to give me the stink eye for the next week. But I often ask them, okay, now when we're opening up, now when we're going deeper into the pelvis, where are you out of habit holding on to tension in your body just to bring that awareness in? So when you're going through stressful parts in your life, where are you holding on to tension out of habit? What is the first thing to go in your body? Mine's definitely the jaw. The jaw and the pelvic floor, obviously connected, but definitely the jaw. When I'm having my nightmares and I wake up in the middle of the night, my fingers might be clenching and my jaw is clenching and I'm just like not feeling it at all. That's that's when I use that tool, when I use sensory to get myself out of my body into the space around me and tell myself repeatedly, I'm safe, I'm safe. I use words a lot to support myself. Like I talk out loud with myself. I spoke out loud before I recorded this podcast because I was in imposter syndrome for a moment there and I just read this really amazing book. If you are into creativity and you feel like imposter syndrome sometimes, rears its head at you, its ugly head, is that the saying? That I really recommend this book. It's called The Middle Finger Project. Really great book. Really great book. But I was saying things out loud to myself to get myself to actually hit the record button because I know that this is what I love to do. I love to sit down. I love to have a conversation with you and teach you things about you that can help you on your healing journey. With that being said, I also have two free yoga classes coming up on February 24th. So this is going to be released on Thursday, February 20th. So in 4 days, I'm hosting two free pelvic floor yoga classes. So these yoga classes are specifically designed for people that live with overactive pelvic floor dysfunction, people that tend to hold on to tension in their pelvic floor. Here you will learn practices such as, yeah, the poses, the physical poses. You will learn breath work. You will learn ways to regulate your nervous system. And we're just going to be coming together, and I'm so excited. Coming together. I don't know, I read too much smut right now. But I'm so excited for these two classes because it's so nice when we just all come together and we get to move together and sit in this beautiful space that we have. I love our community and the way that we just act with each other and the way that we show up because there is so much vulnerability and so much love and so much to learn from each other as well. And I want you to be a part of that. So, if you live with hypertonic pelvic floor dysfunction, you don't want to miss this out. It's on February 24th, one at 2 p.m., one at 6 p.m. Um, this is also celebration because I'm adding another live class to the Pelvic Health Hero membership, and that will be on Mondays at 6 p.m. because I know that many people from the States and from Australia have asked for this class, and I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it back, baby. So I'm super excited, and I hope that you can join us. I'm going to put the little link in the show notes, and this class will not be recorded, so you have to be attending the live class to see the benefits that pelvic floor yoga can bring you on your healing journey. So I really hope that you can make it. And that's it for today. I hope you have a lovely day and that you are looking after yourself. And if you live with anxiety, feel free to try any of the practices that I just mentioned in the beginning of this episode that you can do. And let me know how that feels to you. If you're feeling anxious in a specific moment, tap on your chest, feel the ground beneath you, notice colors around your space, preferably a color that makes you feel happy, like pink. Until next time, take care of your beautiful body and remember that you are absolutely gorgeous and there is no one in the space quite like